Hello everyone! We will learn about a very useful data structure in Python known as the dictionary. Now without waiting much, let's get an intuition first and understand really what problem does this data structure solve. Let's talk about real-world data. We usually get data in the formats like CSV or spreadsheets. Now in this specific spreadsheet, you will see that there are multiple columns containing information about each employee. So for Bob, David, and for all of these employees, there are columns like their height, their weight, age, marital status, favorite sports, education, and so on. And then again, there is no limitation to the number of columns you can have in your spreadsheet. It totally depends upon your data. And this is exactly the right kind of data that we want to store using Python. And that's where dictionaries come in. Let's understand now. On the knowledge of the list that you have already gained, you would have tried to create multiple lists, one for each column. Like you have one list for names, one is for height, one is for weight and age. This basically brings us to the next question. How many such lists will you have to actually create? Suppose the information that you want to store about each person keeps on increasing. So as we had seen in the previous example, there are new columns like marital status, favorite sports, and education. Suppose these columns can keep on increasing, then how many such lists you will have to create? After a while, it will really become tedious and inefficient to keep track of them all. And this is our problem number one. The next thing that we need to worry about is that in a real-world scenario, you can have multiple such spreadsheets. For example, this spreadsheet is employee general information. Then you might have another spreadsheet that is company revenue, and another that is tax details. And combining all of these spreadsheets give you the data of your institution. So the second problem is that you need a way to group the data at the spreadsheet level, since multiple spreadsheets might have same columns with different values. So let's now see how to fix these two problems. So for starters, we have lists defined for each column of the spreadsheet. We have name, height, weight, and age. We can simply combine all these lists into one collection, and such that collection is called employees info. This way you can actually keep track of all the lists and you can have multiple such collections. So even if there is another collection, say tax information, in that case, even if you have the names of columns there, that names column and these names column will not create a conflict because that totally belongs to another collection. Now let me tell you this, collection is nothing else but a dictionary in Python. Also notice that, just like I said, even in a dictionary we use curly brackets to create a dictionary. So let's learn more about this new data structure that we have seen. So what is a dictionary? First of all, dictionary is an unordered data structure, just like sets. In a dictionary, each element is stored as a key value pair. We will see that what this means in a minute. The third one is obviously a fact that we have seen just now, which is that a dictionary has curly brackets in its syntax. Let's take some examples. So this is a basic dictionary. In this case, each key, that is name of the people like Bob, David, Lisa, each key is actually mapped to a number. So this number can represent anything, suppose their height, it can be their weight, and so on. So each of these names are actually keys of the dictionary, and each of these numbers are values, and that's what a key value pair is. Now here is another example of a dictionary. In this case, each key is actually mapped to multiple values. Like Bob has 2 values here, David has 2 numbers, and so on. And we use a list to represent these numbers. So now, if initially we were storing height of people, we can store height and weight, then height, weight, and salary, and so on. So values are lists in this example of dictionary. Now, I think this is the first time you might have seen that one data structure of Python is being used inside another. For example, here we are using a list inside a dictionary. But let me tell you this is a fairly common practice, so you don't need to worry much about it. This is actually an advanced usage of data structures in itself. So these are the basics of the dictionary. Now that you know what a dictionary is, let's understand how we can access elements inside it. Now, I think by far, you must have realized this already, that elements in a dictionary cannot be accessed by index. So this is a dictionary. If you try to access an element by index, say you give dictionary of 1, in this case you will get this error that the key does not exist. Suppose instead you just give a key. For example, I want to access all the information that is related to Bob in this dictionary. So if you use this syntax, square brackets, and type Bob inside, you can get the values. Now the syntax is fairly straightforward. You write the name of the dictionary, use the square brackets, inside the square brackets give whatever key whose value you need. In this case, we needed the value of Bob. Suppose you can give here David, or you can give the name Lisa here. Let's now see how to add elements to a dictionary. You can add a single element in a dictionary simply just like you would have done in a list. So this is your dictionary here, Deck 2, and you want to add a single element. The same syntax, the dictionary name, the square bracket, whatever key you want to give, and whatever value you have to give. So now you have added the key value pair Elizabeth and these two numbers 5.2 and 150. So if you print the dictionary again, you will see that Elizabeth has been added. So any key value pair you want to add to the dictionary, this is the syntax you need to follow. If you want to add multiple elements together into the dictionary, in that case you can just use the update function. What update does is, it basically takes another dictionary as input. For example, you have given Anish as the key and the value is 5.1 and 145. Tosin is the key and the value is 5.5 and 155. Now your dictionary comes from this one to this one, as you see on the screen. And notice that Anish and Tosin has been promptly added to the dictionary. Similarly, deleting an element in a dictionary is pretty straightforward. If you want to delete a single element, you can just use the del keyword, write the dictionary name, give the value of the key, and then element will totally be deleted from the dictionary. So this was all about dictionaries in Python. Let's go to the next video where we will actually see it in more detail when we're coding it up. Thank you.